carnival atmosphere, unrelated at the moment to what's going to be happening in roughly 15 minutes time, even less than that, as a matter of fact. There's Kenny Dalglish, who's been laughing this up as one of the ex-captains of a cup final winning side with Celtic, of course, greeted like Billy McNeill was, like the prodigal returning, and no doubt evoking some memories of the great past matches they've had here at Hampden Park. Well, there was a great partnership for you. If you watched our programme last night, you saw the beginning of it when Billy McNeill scored a goal at the left-hand side for Dunfermline, and old mates, John Gregg, who, well, in the past sometimes they didn't smile at each other, but it's now history. Great Ranger alongside two great Celts. I really must congratulate the organisers. This time they've really come out. Sometimes the Scottish Cup final is very low-key. We compare it to the English Cup final, which is all very engineered towards entertaining the family long in advance of kick-off. Well, the very impetus of having the 100th Cup final has sparked off a lot of creativity amongst the organisers. We've had the display of the cars around the track, and that is all gone. I bet you didn't see that, but it was very attractive indeed. And now we get down to the real nitty-gritty. Billy McNeill will be panting his way up to the commentary position, or the analysis position in our hut, which is a way up just behind that crowd you're watching now. But Archie Knox is there. I hope Archie can hear me. I'd like to ask him about this Dundee United side. There is a shot of the box, and Archie is buried in that little kind of lozenge. It looks almost like a spaceship about to take off. Archie, the Dundee United selection, they have Malpas and Vidian marked with number 3 in his jersey, but Gough, Hegarty and Neri are there. So is Vidian going to play an important part in this game? Well, at which case there is no reply from Archie, but there is the Dundee United team. It's McAlpin, Malpas and Vidy, Gough, Hegarty and Neri, Bannon, Milne, Kirkwood, Sturrock and Dodds. And as I said there, Vidian, I saw Vidy playing ostensibly as a fullback against Rangers about 3 weeks ago, but he's really a forward. He's a midfield player. Certainly Jim McLean signed him after having watched him play fullback for St Johnstone against Aberdeen, but he's a forward-going player, as witnessed that magnificent goal he scored in the semi-final. And I do believe that we are going to see a lot of this man in this game. Signed for around 90,000. And although Stuart hasn't had the best of seasons due to some nagging injuries, he's certainly made his influence known. Celtic supporter, without any question, with a hat that must come from somewhere in Donegal, I would think. Massive crowd indeed of Celtic supporters, which, as Archie Knox said, not surprisingly, is so typical of Celtic in a Scottish Cup final. Other interesting players there for Celtic, of course, Danny McGrain, who played in 1974. He has 4 winners' medals, so he knows it's in his veins. He's absorbed it all, and I'm quite sure that kind of maturity will be a great advantage and influence for the younger players there. I know Maurice Johnson has played in an FA Cup final, but that was only a year ago. He's still a young lad, and he might be feeling the heebie-jeebies down there in the dressing room right now, if only because there is a great deal of pressure on Celtic. 1-0 for 2 years under Davie Hayes' management, and these supporters out there are guy hungry. You can take it from me. It would be a massive disappointment if they didn't win. Well, I was asking Archie earlier, let's hope the gremlins have gone out of the system. I'll ask him again if what he thinks of that Dundee United formation.
Well, it's a bit of a surprise. Obviously, John Holt is possibly not quite as fit as Jim McLean would have liked, and he's gone for Beattie, but it's difficult to say if the numbers have any part in how United will line up. Maybe it could be Malpas at left back, we don't know.
Yeah, I imagine though that the 3 stalwarts in defence will be Gough, Hegarty and Neri as usual.
Oh, there's no any doubt about that. Then the Gough, Hegarty and Neri, and I think Jim favours a back 4 of Gough, Hegarty, Neri and Malpas, so that's maybe what we will see at the start of the game.
Now, Celtic have favoured Frank McGarvey to Brian McClare. Now, there's a lot of arguments over this, because Brian McClair is exceptionally good, Archie. Is he not, coming from midfield, and yet McGarvey's in?
Well, obviously, I think that Davie's gone for Johnson and McGarvey, and it looks as if that's what he favours as his best strike partnership, and I don't think any of the Celtic supporters would argue with that.
Apart from that, Archie, there's nothing terribly surprising about that formation.
No, that's their normal, strongest team.
By the way, Archie, has the big man got up beside you yet?
He's just arrived just beside us at the moment.
Is he pecking by any chance? Well, he got a wonderful reception from these supporters there. We'll just let him settle into his seat, because I want to ask him about that. In fact, the intense loyalty that they have to people who've served Celtic very well. Billy, did you hear that rapturous reception you got? Well, he's not with us yet. Oh, Archie. Yes, I was just mentioning the rapturous reception you got, Billy.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting my breath back, Archie, actually.
I know you're not fit. You're not fit.
Well, it looks like that, actually. I don't think I can play today. You better maybe pass that through to the dressing room.
Yeah, it was a great...
Well,
great
I enjoyed the
occasion,
reception, Archie. I always thought I had a good relationship with fans, and they haven't forgotten me, so it was nice.
Now,
Lovely.
given just this one particular zone, Billy, Frank McGarvey or Brian McClair, would you agree with that first 11?
Well, I think what Davie has done, obviously, I mean, the game's about 13 players now, not 11 as we used to think, and he's left himself with a tremendous option, because he knows that he could bring Brian McClair on at any time and he'll make a big impact. But Frank McGarvey, for me, is a big-time player. He'll enjoy the atmosphere this afternoon, and may well just do something.
And here we go, Billy. Only minutes away from kick-off. A situation that Jim McLean has only experienced 3 times. The third final for him. Whereas that man there, who played in '74, has experienced a lot for Celtic under Jockstein, looking typically impassive. The Celtic team, I would imagine, edging out, certainly in the west of Scotland, edging out Dundee United in the betting. It's been a long, hard season for a club that expects to win something every season. That's Paul Sturrock. So vital. Billy Kirkwood, the utility player, play him anywhere. Davy Dodds, very good in the air. Maurice Malphus, will be interesting to see where Beattie and Malphus actually play in this match. A great respect for the kind of play Beattie can turn in. We're waiting for this presentation. Oh. Well, I'm not sure that that's awfully safe nowadays. An edgy time for both sets of players. I suppose, and there is Brian McGinley. This is his fourth final, but as a matter of fact, he has never refereed a final involving Dundee United or Celtic before. And these two gentlemen, let me repeat, in the garb of 1874. Just to explain, we've already had a centenary cup final, but because of the intervening years in the wars, the actual number of games played have been 99 up until today. Desmond White, the Celtic chairman, going through the normal rituals. Billy, Tommy Burns is, to my mind, a brilliant player, but he is also very temperamental, is he not?
I think that's part of his makeup. I think that's what makes him just a little bit special, Archie, at times. One of my thoughts going into the cup final just now is that, to me, the cup final is normally won by the team who play the better football. It's not like your normal league match. And that's why I'll go strongly for Celtic, because I think they have creative players who will do one or two little things just out of the ordinary that could make all the difference today.
That's one of the essential characteristics of a cup final, a bit of flair, a little bit of magic, which can change a game from mediocrity into something that is lethal and productive. David Will, the president of the SFA, with Ernie Walker just at the back. They've been very intense in the organisation of this event. Jim McLean. I mean, I don't think it's any criticism of Jim McLean. I mean, he says it of himself. He's not noted for his smiling ability. Prefers to remain very taciturn. But you're looking at certainly one of the most thorough professionals in the business. I mean, it's a 24-hour job for Jim McLean. If he's not watching football live, he's watching it on video. Ralph Milne of the great pace. Well, Bannon. Archie Bannon would come into my way of thinking, into the kind of Tommy Burns mold for sort of being temperamental.
But Bannon's the type of player who is a tremendous player. Bannon can win a game on his own, and that's what Jim McLean will be looking for this afternoon from Eamon Bannon.
Well, they're jamming him in. I think the crowd at that end may have to spill round the side. It is a very, very good crowd now. We won't get the official figures until much later. Well, look at that. Now, this was opened at the beginning of the week, only 3 days ago. New gates, new toilets, and it is so packed in there because that terracing, of course, is reduced, very much reduced in size, the traditional Celtic end. And here we have Scotland the Brave. Blood pumping and coursing through the veins before any game. Very interesting fact about Dundee United is they've never won at Hampden on a Saturday. The 2 occasions they won here were in replays. So not only have they won the Scottish Cup for the first time, but to do that in the past, they won the year in 73-4 in the semi-final against Hearts, and of course against Celtic in 88 they won 3-2. Both, as I say, replays. But I heard Jim McLean on television the other day saying too many people are saying that the statistics are against us, and that will only prompt us to go out and disprove everybody. So we are going to see a United team with their hackles raised. Richard Gough, the big lad, born in Stockholm, of Scottish parents, went to South Africa afterwards, came back to Rangers for a very short spell, and promptly grasped by the coaching network of Jim McLean. On his game, there are few better. Good in the air, strong tackler, doesn't mess about. Ralph Milne, well, will he play or not? We're talking about temperament. I mean, this man's got everything, Billy McNeill, hasn't he?
Archie, Ralph Milne.
Ralph Milne, he really has everything, hasn't he?
Well, you know, to me, as a player, I've always liked and always appreciated the difficulty of combating him. To me, every big occasion has a potential match winner, and this lad, I think, could be a match winner today. Very, very pacey, good appetite for the game, and he knows how to finish. He'll be a handful for whomsoever's playing against him.
Yes, indeed. And although he played poorly against Dundee last week and was actually taken off, he hardly kicked the ball. I think the wide open spaces of Hampden Park have made for them. Remember an excellent run he had for a goal against Rangers in the Scottish Cup final previously. By the way, out of respect, both sets of players are wearing armbands. The flags are at half-mast, but there will be no minute silence this afternoon. There's the referee, as I said, in his 4th final. He is the #1 man in Scotland, Brian McGinley. And the honour falls to Frank McGarvey to get the 100th Scottish Cup final underway. And appropriately, the sun bathing Hampden now. The two brothers playing in the final, Paul and Willie McNeill, already in the action. And I think offside against that quick darting move by Maurice Thompson. But obviously it will be early nerves. Sometimes teams can capitalise on that. Remember a goal Billy McNeill scored against Rangers. About a minute at the start of a cup final once. A rather frozen-looking Rangers defence. There's Richard Goff. Notice that Beattie is playing, seems to be in midfield, picked up by McLeod. Aiken. Neatly picked up there by Bannon. That was a very late tackle. There'll be the slightest reprimand for Paul McStay about that. Nothing more than that, just a warning. There he is, Eamon Bannon. So, free kick to United. Dodds with a lovely backhand, and there's Bannon. That was a very intelligent piece of play by David Dodds. That's what he's so very good at. Now watch Dodds, the reverse header, and Bannon, who can hit the ball with both feet extremely well, totally miscuing that. Oh, it's very neat play by United. They're looking confident. Here's Richard Goff. An excellent tackle by McGrain. It's Milne. And away he goes. McGrain. Oh, easily read by the Celtic defence. Now Celtic on the counter-attack. One. Superb pass. Davie Provan. Well, we've had brilliant tackles in this game so far. That, I think, was meant for Sturrock. An awkward ball for Aiken, looking into the sun. Oh, what a mistake by McStay. Well, I talked about brilliant tackles. That was another one. One. Frank McGarvey. Very fond of coming in from the wide. Now David Dodds and Aiken. Annoyed with himself about that. Slightly deceived by the face of the ball. Well, only 4 minutes gone, and the play, I must say, has been commendably fast, with good control as well. That augurs rather well for a high-quality game. Eamon Bannon will take this throw for United. Aiken, there is Beattie. Beattie wearing number 3, but he is operating in the midfield with Richard Goff, Paul Hegarty, David Leary and Maurice Malpass, the 4 at the back. Just that fringe of the heads of the Celtic supporters, the thousands out of sight below them. Malpass did very well to keep his eye on the ball and chooses to go forward himself. That's a bit too much in that, and I think a late tackle by McLeod, yes. The referee was quickly on to that. Free kick to United. Not really much wind at the moment at Hampden Park. I'm not sure who would have the advantage. Probably United slightly. Beattie. Well, Pat Warner will like that. Unchallenged and allowed to rise and grip the ball, and goalkeepers do like to do that early in a match, and there's only 5 minutes gone. McGrain, Goff, Beattie, Bannon didn't know where it went. Free kick, yes, awkward shove there by Ian Bannon. The pitch is rather bumpy in the middle. Another push for Garvey. Very keen in taking that. Well, we saw Billy Kirkwood kissing Sunday this season. So catching on. Free kick to Celtic. Either of them could take it. That was a clever ball indeed. Well, the Dundee United defence were expecting something high and chipped to the far post, and instead Provan decided to drive it low and watch Johnson coming in, and he did get the touch. Apart from anything else, I think if either player had missed that, Hamish McAlpin was going to find it difficult to stop that ball. Beattie. Quick tackle by Dodds. Neri. Warner waits for it like a rugby fullback. And without a mark, cleanly there. That should be a goal kick. Billy McNeill, any discernible pattern about the game with 7 minutes gone that you detect?
Well, I think the most important thing, Archie, at this stage, both teams seem to have settled down, and the early moments have lived up to what we hoped would be a very, very exciting final. There's been a whole lot of keen tackling. Both teams have had little chances, and that's not a bad thing at this time of the game.
Well, McStay, Hegarty. United looked slightly flat there. No offside. Bannon. McLeod to Burns. Easily taken by Malphus, has looked very good indeed, and that is certainly a foul, but a bit unfortunate for United because Paul Sturrock was in the clear in a very good position. So that's life. Well, you know, after all the big build-up I did about the weather, I do believe there's some rain falling. Kirkwood. Beattie running forward to that, and there's Bonner. Pat Bonner, who watched his twin brother play in the Irish Cup final in Galway a few weeks ago. There we are. And there's hardly a jacket at the Celtic end, I may say. The dress for summer. Dodds almost got it released. Johnston by about a couple of feet. Burns. Sign of concentration of Tommy Burns there, determined to get the ball very quickly. Neri. Oh. One of these awkward bounces, as I said, the pitch is bumpy in places, particularly in that area that Murdo McLeod is. Better out there, will it stay? Cleverly led by David Neri. Archie Knox said David Neri on his game is really a very classy defender, isn't he?
Oh, first-class player, David Neri, and he'll be an important player for Dundee United today when the game starts to settle down, and he's been forward scored on a couple of occasions so far, and Dundee United will be looking for David Neary, maybe just shortly to make a break forward.
And here's a man who can break forward as well, Richard Goff. Round the back, and Aiken did very well indeed. That ball had gone behind him, and he knew that Dodge would run in and Warner. Well, a bit of the community singing that busts out spontaneously from that end from time to time. Provan. McStay, it broke very well for him, and there's nobody there, and no, corner. Well, that's a good sign from Hamish McAlpin, because I think he's agreeing that Kirkwood probably did the right thing. Just the slightest misjudgment in it. I think also the ball skidding surprisingly. There's a header down there, and you can see the rain on the camera lens, as a matter of fact. Oh, the McLeod, will he let one fly? He does. McStay. Ooh, that's very slack, and Sturrock almost picking it up. Well, I don't know what the sign was there. It's either overconfidence or nerves in Willie McStay's part. Goff. Here's Provan, who's now beginning to wander slightly. Burns from McStay. Oops. Now, if that's not a booking, it really ought to be a lashing with a tongue. And is. Well, there's Burns here, and whoops. A touch of the Kung Fu's almost. Mr. Burns there, although he's getting a smile from Roy Aiken, who's not known to be in the pacifist league and the football pitch himself from time to time. Oh, there we go. It's almost like a Meccano set that climbed up. That's the floodlight. Really is a huge Celtic support down at that end. No, much too deliberate and obvious. There's McStay again, though. His brother Willie, well away by Bill. Dundee United look very well organised indeed. McGrain goes forward. Here's McLeod. He gets free. Celtic now putting the pressure on. Provan. McStay. McLeod. And everybody back for United except Paul Sturrock. There's McStay. United really under pressure. Still there's Tommy Burns and Hamish McAlpin. Gobbled it up. Celtic supporters love that. Sturrock. Now Billy Kirkwood, who'll do a lot of hard running today. Almost touched back. Beattie goes in slightly slow. Celtic are winning the tackles. Bannon. Neary came forward. Kind of reluctant pass all the same. Hegarty did that very deftly. There's Sturrock round behind the defenders. Goal kick. Oh yes, no argument about that. Smile on the face as the rain lashes down, quite surprisingly. About an hour ago we were at the top of the terracing and we looked right along to the west, and it looked very good indeed. Johnson almost got that. Still, it won't do any harm to the pitch, that's for sure. McGrain. That was a late tackle by Burns this time. Nothing each with 15 minutes gone. And there to Paul Sturrock with a chance, and he couldn't turn quickly enough. Aiken slipping. Here's Bannon. Oof. Well away by McAdam, but that was a nervy moment for the Celtic defence. And I wondered if the sudden slippiness is taking a hand in this. Billy Kirkwood. Sturrock trying to wrestle round the side. The ball has gone over. Well, Billy McNeill, I wonder if there are any discernible factors you can read into this now to make any predictions, or is it still too early?
Well, we saw something just a few seconds ago, actually. The ground's obviously very, very slippery on the top. Now, I think that will obviously suit players such as Paul Sturrock. We saw him almost get a snapshot and goal there, and that's the type of situation that he dwells upon and he thrives upon. If he gets a few more balls played into him like that at this surface, I think he could cause a whole lot of problems for Celtic's back four.
Well, a free kick just inside the Celtic half. Tom McAdam to take that. Here's the unfortunate knack of missing Scottish Cup finals, by the way, Tom. Not at all well judged by Paul Hegarty, and Billy Kirkwood there, no chance of getting it. Beattie. Kirkwood. Well, he did well there. You know, he was under pressure from the two strikers. Really under pressure. Milne to Sturrock. Here's Milne. Real gift there for Paul McStay to Willie. Steady up again, looking very steady. Both major defenders on both sides, and I think, yes, a free kick. Free kick to Celtic. Provan. McGarvey on a space there for Willie McStay, and there's Hegarty. Bannon so anxious to get going, and there is McGarvey, who did a bit, I would have done a pushing with the referee. Waves play on. Hamish McAlpin, Scotland's Player of the Year, to Hegarty. Hamish won't be too happy with that kick out. I think United will get a free kick for that. Ralph Milne to take it. A lot of curve in it. Paul McStay in the right back position. Well, the play has had a lot of flow to it. Goff screaming for this. Not an easy one to bring down. Did it rather well. Here's Hegarty. Milne on the chase. Brilliant play by McGrain. Man has won 4 winners' medals, 2 runners-up. Still playing with that tremendous conviction. Billy Kirkwood trying to go around the side. Billy Kirkwood, quite a utility player, of course. His goal in the cup against Hibs in the 3rd round means he scored 1 in each of the 4 competitions. turn prince at the right moment. I would like to fall out with that expression. Johnson. Archie Knox, it strikes me that both central defenders are playing very well.
Both sets of defences, in actual fact, are not giving much away, so we haven't really seen a great lot of goal-mouth incidents, and I think it's Celtic territorially have the advantage at this stage, but United are dangerous when if we could only get the ball to Ralph Milne and see if he can give us one of his runs, him or Eamon Bannon. We haven't seen them as yet.
Well, Frank McGarvey on the far side. Back to Sturrock again. He's been looking nothing if not promising. Look at that move. Quick 1-2s. Might have overdone it, and it's a goal kick. Started off as a very promising Dundee United move. Good control, very close. Good one-touch football, that, and at the basis of it, Eamon Bannon. McGarvey to Aiken. To Provan. That's Provan. He did very well. All of these balls, of course, almost inevitably finding Hegarty and Ordinary. Well, Mother McLeod was quite entitled to attempt that. He has been known to rifle them in from that range. He's one of these players you would always want in your side. He's made over 200 league appearances for Celtic. And he scored a lot of goals. He's 75 he scored in all for Celtic, and that was never going to be the 76th. We're halfway through the first half. Bannon showing good pace and getting the corner. I must say, I do believe that United do like a very holding pitch. Won't be too unhappy playing in the rain. Hegarty, Aiken. Well, I don't think Roy Aiken was too unhappy about where it went. He certainly didn't want Hegarty to get near that. Milne, nice little touch. Beattie. That's Malthus. Bannon. Beginning to look good, and pass McStay. Ross certainly didn't match that. Throw to United. Sturrock. Wow, runs in the break. Lying very handy. Here's McGarvey running towards him. United backtrack, not only very quickly, but in an organised manner. Look at that. Back in their own half again. Cadom. One or two rather shaky passes out of defence on both sides. Provan to take it. McStay, laid off by McGarvey. Johnson was up, and how's about that? That's confidence from Milne. Wanted to get going again. David Dodds and McStay. Billy McNeill, I did bring up the subject of whether Dundee United would lose their nerve slightly. Well, I think with 25 minutes gone, it's quite clearly they have not.
No, I don't think anyone can accuse them of bottling in this occasion. Not up till now anyway, Archie. They've fought very hard for the ball. They're very organised at the moment. They're playing very, very strictly to their type of game, and they're not allowing, although Celtic's had a lot of possession, perhaps midfield at the back, they're not allowing them to be get any good passes in behind them where it's going to hurt. At the moment they look very confident and they start to threaten just a little bit.
And that's the man who's to hold them out. That Warner. Had a very good season, Warner. Morris Johnson looking slightly bedraggled. Normally impeccably dressed. Well, you never call this man a veteran, would you? So he calls me it. There's Milne. There's McGrain, just too much for him. Here's Dunn. Slipped very slightly there. It didn't come off United. McGrain plays it loosely. Here's Billy Kirkwood. That was a timely interception again by Aiken, who's having a magnificent game for Celtic at the back. And also talking his head off. He is a supremo there. Slag, but down and no offside. I think there was a slight confusion between the two United players in actual fact. That is a goal kick. I was wondering if there might have been a deflection. There was not. That is a goal kick. We still don't have the official attendance, and they may have the best vantage point on the ground, although technically totally illegal. But look at that crowd away in the background there. What a heartening sight. Beattie. Out it goes, and there's an injury. It's Billy Kirkwood. Archie knocks, Kirkwood is a very useful player. I mean, you never can quite put your finger on the type of player he is, but he's simply useful, isn't he?
Oh, Billy Kirkwood fits into Dundee United's pattern just first class, and he's the type that scored many a valuable goal for them. And as the game develops, then we would look to see, as the ball's played up to the likes of Sturrock, Kirkwood's always the danger, on the end of crosses, always ready for anything that's going to be laid back and wanting to shoot. He'll be a valuable player for Dundee United still today.
That's a free kick, I think. It is indeed. There's Johnson going back now. Provan switch to the left. Johnson inside. Plays it well. And there is Billy Kirkwood, the man we've been talking about, back in that defensive position. Still no scoring. McStay. A little bit of luck for Celtic. There's McGarvey with an great chance. And one or two Celtic players thought that might have been a penalty. Look at Milne now. Oh, there's too much in that. The pass, the final pass, ruined what might have been a wonderful counter-attack. But look at this, driven across there, and McGarvey just falling down now. He threw himself. Contact was made with him, but there was a final flourish, which doesn't count. Here's Burns. Davie nowhere near that one. There goes Malthus. Roy Aiken. Sturrock. Oh. Reverse pass at his best, and a cross pass at his very worst. No free kick. David Naney, and the run forward by Sturrock, offside. Now, Billy, that was a great piece of play by Sturrock and Milne, and Sturrock begins to look as if he's going to make a contribution in this game.
Well, I think he's a very worthwhile player, Archie. These conditions, I think, will suit him. I think he gave indication of the threat that he and Ralph Milne can pose coming down the right-hand side. And had Ralph Milne been able to deliver a better ball, well, Celtic could have been all sorts of trouble there.
Paul McStay did the follow-up. Paul McStay started again very promisingly and then seemed to quieten down again. But I think this boy is laboured by the fact that we expect him to be brilliant at everything he does and at every game because of his marvellous start at a young age. Whipped away. That's Aiken deciding to come forward for the first time, I think. He gets a free kick out of that. Aiken. Oh, he's been drawn out of defence now. Can United exploit this? That is Beattie. Through to Sturrock. He took it down very well. It was good football by United on the break. Milne. I said the tackling has been immense this afternoon. That was a wasted ball. McStay. Morris Johnson dabbed at it. Good understanding. Look how far McAlpin had come out of goal there. There he is. When he was really out there anticipating where that pass back would go. Great understanding. They played together so often. Paul McStay in the gap. Provan. Oh, it's very well curled. Hegarty. Davie, a very awkward customer with his back to goal like that. He shields the ball well. Willie McStay, and that will ease the pressure enormously when Celtic had pushed United back. I just get the impression, Archie Knox, that United are getting more and more confident, not maybe in great strides, but bit by bit.
Well, we're just saying that here, that the game is certainly becoming a bit more open now. Then they've settled down, both sets of players have settled down, and as you say, Dundee United are starting to make a few passes, settling to their more normal type of game, and we should maybe see an improvement in the game from now on.
Bounce. Stay. Followed up with that hip high tackle. Davie Dodds. Ball gangling clear, and there's a move by Provan that gets another free kick. Davie Dodds has the distinction of being the only United player to have scored in the Scottish Cup final, scoring against Rangers in the final replay. David Neary, that was a quality clearance, ball very tight and close to him, and he managed to whip it away. Roy Aitken, just under 10 minutes left of the first half. Aitken wanted a 1-2. McAdam left at the back. Wouldn't be surprised if Hamish had come out and headed that away. Here's Bannerman. Oh, he overdid it. McLeod, you know, that characteristic quick spot that he has. You think that a players are going to leave him and then he catches them. Sturrock. Not clean enough, but they get the corner. Surely United's second corner. Well, not the best one. Can he raise it this time? Right foot. There's Hegarty. Beattie. Oh. Totally wrong-footing himself. That's quite remarkable because we've already seen his prowess in hitting the ball very cleanly from way out. And I mean, that could not have been better teed up for him. When I came across to him, he totally, I think he may have put his eye on the advancing player. Just a bit too much in that. Camera shot, Frank Corner came out absolutely livid. The ball ending up there rather tamely. Here's Burns. Well, run taken again by Beattie. Gabbing it forward to Sturrock. Neat little turn there by Sturrock. The Surrey defence coped with that very well. Here's Milno. Over to David Dodds. Brilliant clearance by Tom McAdam. Oh, that's defending at his very best, and a wild tackle by Buddy Kirkwood, and the referee will certainly book him for that. High quality ball there by Ralph Bell, and look at that, McAdam just in there. It might have been a quick rat-a-tat, Dodds, and then McAdam. In any case, as I said earlier, both central defenders, both sets of central defenders have been outstanding. Well, there's the booking. Well, Billy, any notion on how the game is developing now? I must say that United have looked very, very impressive in the quick breaks.
Yes, the United have settled very well. I think any accusations or any fears that anyone had about them not settling can be proved unfounded. They've plenty of system that they enjoy. They sit very, very tight in defence, play it very, very neat in midfield, and look to hit people on the break. And you know, Sturrock showed a few qualities there. Milne's given us indication that his pace will be a problem for Dan if he gets it going. And Eamon Van started to show himself on the other side. But only a minute ago, we had a magnificent clearing header from Tom McAdam there. It looked odds on for David Dodds to get a goal there, but a magnificent header from Tom McAdam. And at this stage, both the two centre-backs of Celtic have played very, very well for them.
Well, thank you, Billy. I don't know whether you noticed while you were talking a rerun of that foul. Quite frankly, it didn't look as bad on the replay.
Yes.
But referees don't have the benefit of replay.
No, I think probably the very fact that the ground's so slippery maybe caused part of it. But I still think it was a bit of a rash challenge there.
Yeah. Danny McGrain. Just under 5 minutes remaining of the first half of this 100th Scottish Cup final. Beanie. I don't think he relished the advancing McAdam. Oh, miscue. Almost chipped it like a sandwich. Right out of play. Well, I must just that replay we saw, I don't think was the replay, Billy, if you're listening, that actually caused the foul. However, we now have almost 3 minutes of the first half remaining. Not getting anywhere near that. Davie Provan carved that out well for himself, and what a lame response by McGarvey, but away goes Billy Kirkwood again, and still like no chance of getting that. No, just too much pace of the ball, skidding over the surface. Well, I'm sure when the vast majority of these supporters left for the game today, they did not expect to be drenched. Certainly the monsoons came. A few gallons of water in the scarves and clothes of these supporters. To bring that down well. Whoops. Beanie very, very careless. I think Mr. McLean would bust a blood vessel in the stand watching that kind of play, and he is in the stand. He's not allowed on the track side. Dodds. Better jump by Aiken, though. Now Paul McStay. Garvey. Here's Dodds. Good control. Milne. Yes, free kick. Yes, he took Ralph Milne out of the play. And I think it'll be a warning. I don't think it's a booking. Oh, it's just the gentlest warning. Of course, Roy Aiken was sent off around about this time in the Scottish Cup final last year against Aberdeen, which altered the course of events quite significantly. A little bit of the magic sponge or the aerosol spray, which is part of the new technology. There's Bannon. Billy Kirkwood. Goff. Won't keep it in though. That second hand of our stopwatch is kicking round. We make it about 40 seconds to the half-time whistle. There'll be a bit of injury time. Dodds, a beautiful ball to Sturrock. Just a bit wide, Bannon with it, and offside against Sturrock. Yeah, I must say the quick probes of the players with pace on this park are going to be very telling. Sturrock there, you can see Eamon Bannon on the other side, Provan in particular, and Maurice Johnson, all got pace. There is a Druitt-looking referee. I think if he blew that whistle, bubbles would come out of it. McGarvey. Dainty footwork, Davie Provan. And McGarvey just ran himself against the player. Not a single United player in the Celtic half with just about 30 seconds of injury time gone. And there it goes. No scoring at the end of the first half of the 100th cup final. The players have been absolutely drenched. It's a funny thing, I just got the hint of what Archie was saying, Archie Knox was saying, that he might not have enjoyed the game as much as I have, but I must say, one of the criterion for a commentator is the passing of time, and this first half for me has flown past, so to that extent I must have enjoyed it. There's been a lot of good play. Obviously the defence is being on top. We haven't had the goalmouth incidents that Archie talked about, but let's get an overall analysis by going out of the rain and getting away from that guy's napper, as it were, up to our box up at the top where Dougie Donnelly has Billy McNeill and Archie Knox.
Yes, thanks Archie. The weather really did take a sudden turn for the worse just as the game got underway with that very heavy rain, which we didn't expect. Was it a good first half, Archie?
I think it was a very good first half. A very competitive game, which is normal. I mean, in league games, Celtic and Dundee United will provide competitive games, and with this being the 100th Scottish Cup final, then there's going to be an extra edge to the play. I think what we need now, possibly, is a little turn of individualism, and both teams have plenty of players to maybe produce that turn, and maybe the second half will see this.
That's it. Any fears that anyone might have had, Billy, about United freezing at Hampden, as I think they have done in the past, dispelled within the first 5 minutes?
Oh, I think we can forget all about that, Dougie. To be fair to them, they've worked hard to get the pattern going. Jim's very much a pattern type player that looks for Eamon Bannon playing the left-hand side from. He looks for people being tight in midfield. He looks for his defence being compact. They've got that going for themselves. The very fact that I think Celtic's back four have had to work just that little bit harder might give indication that they know there's a threat there. The Celtic front players really haven't had the type of service as yet that the Dundee United lads have had, and they haven't therefore caused the same problems to Dundee United at the back. But nevertheless, I think it's been a good first half, and I think Celtic have played well. But they've only been allowed to play so well because Dundee United have really started superbly.
That's it. It's been a very even first half, Archie, because I think Celtic, perhaps territorially, have had slightly more of the play, but United have looked a little bit more dangerous. Roy Aitken, I think, has been absolutely immense.
That's certainly...
all the danger seems to be coming from the wings, and then Aitken and McAdam having to really scramble in the middle, aren't they?
That's certainly true, and I think the last quarter, an hour of the first half there, Bannon, we saw Bannon making one or two runs. We saw Sturrock holding the ball up to allow Millen to get in behind him, and we see Tom McAdam heading that ball clear. So maybe the second half, that there is a lot at stake for both teams. They will relax a bit as the game goes on, and hopefully we'll see a bit more flair from the ones that can produce it.
Yeah, certainly still a very open cup final, and one of the best we've seen in the last few years anyway, for my money, in the first half. Let's now go down though to Wembley for that other cup final taking place this afternoon, with Everton going for what would be a remarkable treble of League Championship, European Cup Winners' Cup and the FA Cup as well. Their opponents, of course, Manchester United. John Motson, the commentator.
Aimed at Sharp, Bailey coming for it. Left for Reid to volley, and off the post. Peter Reid, so close to the opening goal. The referee has given a corner, suggesting it came off a Manchester United foot, but the danger is not over yet. Vanden Hauwe and Gray will take up the near post positions. Gray is in there competing. Sheedy. Well, what a near thing this was for Manchester United. When the cross first came in, Gary Bailey, under pressure, had to punch. It came out to Peter Reid. Stevens, right side. Now can he open it up for United? Olsen may be able to. This is Augustin, and they're streaming forward the red shirt. Mark Hughes, two in the centre. Oh, what a good challenge by Reid. Well, no wonder he's the player's choice as the player of the year. One moment he's up there, striking the post for Everton. And the next minute, he's back in defence, denying Manchester United the chance to get what could have been a telling cross into the area. Everton have come closer to scoring, and here's Sharp. Stephen is outside him. Still Sharp. And Bracewell. But now Robson. Looks for Stapleton. Oh, good dummy. Strachan went on his outside. Stapleton shot. Look at Gordon Strachan here, the number 8. He goes outside to fool the defender and gives Stapleton a lot of room the other way. Bit short by Orbiston, and Bailey had to come to block Gray, and Orbiston had a chance to make amends. Gray was nearly there.
A major incident from the first half at Wembley, where it seems to have been a fairly similar story to here at Hampden, with defences perhaps on top, and as yet no goals. And obviously we'll bring you more up to date on what's happening at Wembley after the 90 minutes. But let me just have a quick word from both of our experts here on that FA Cup final. We were all talking earlier on with John Gregg, in fact, and all agreeing, I think, Billy, that it just seems to be Everton's season. They're just going to win everything.
Well, in many ways you would like them to win everything, Dougie, because they've been a superb team and they've come almost from nothing, and now they've won the league, they've won a European competition, and this perhaps won the losing from a tremendous treble. But to be fair to Manchester United, they've got some superb players, and although they're rivals in the city, I would nevertheless like to see them win the trophy today. But looking at the catalogue of players, magnificent advert for football, and I'm quite convinced it would be a good game.
Right. Still all to play for at Wembley. Anyway, let's take a closer look now at our own final here at Hampden, gentlemen. Both sides settled very quickly, as we've said, and then United came onto the attack, and Paul Sturrock very early on began to look very, very dangerous. Let's take a look at this incident with Paul Sturrock in the forefront for United. Shepherded there by Roy Aitken, taking it out to the byline, and in fact he was almost shepherded away by Aitken, an indication there, Archie, of Roy Aitken's class as a defender, wasn't
That's
it?
right. I think the surface played a big part in what actually happened there. The ball took an extra skid, and it made for Sturrock that he maybe lost a half chance where you'd probably see Sturrock wheeling and having a shot there. I think the surface carried the ball on a bit there, but that's where Paul Sturrock is most dangerous, when balls played into his feet and being able to turn opponents and get his shot in. But Roy Aitken and company know all the players well, know Sturrock well, so they know just exactly what he would be up to in that particular instance.
Yeah, let's turn to the next incident we have, which is Frank McGarvey. This was an interesting one. There was certainly a claim here for a penalty for Celtic. Let's see this one again. What do you think, Billy? Was that a penalty kick?
I think you can understand people maybe claiming for it, Dougie, but to be fair, both players went for the ball, and Frank turned very, very much quicker. I think you saw Frank's initial reaction was to go after the ball and chase it. It was only when it went too far away from him that he put himself on the ground. I think if it had been a penalty, he would have gone down perhaps just a bit more instinctively.
I wonder whether we'll see Brian McClair at the start of the second half, because it may be down to the lack of service, Billy, but we haven't seen McGarvey and Johnston giving United the kind of problems David Hay wants them to.
No, obviously the problems for Celtic have been at the other end, and to be fair to Tom McAdam and Roy Aitken, have coped with them very, very well. But looking at the bench, if you look at the four players that are on the bench, Celtic to me look that bit stronger. I think in Brian McClair they've got an accomplished striker who will score goals, and he can come on at any stage and he'll always be prepared to do that. Play a variety of positions. It's a lovely asset to have up your sleeve, and I don't think there's any doubt if the game continues the way it is just now, you'll see Brian McClair coming on. But to be fair, Dundee United have not allowed Tommy Burns and Paul McStay to settle too much. Therefore, the chances have been few and far between to them. But you know, the game, we're really only playing the game just now. I think the whole serious thing's going to happen in the second half.
Eamon Bannon began to look very dangerous towards the end of the first half, out there wide in the left, Archie, didn't he? And he laid on this chance we have coming up now for Stuart Beattie, and Stuart Beattie in the past we've seen as a marvellous shot from outside the area. Sadly for United, it just wasn't on target this time round. There's the header down by Hegarty. Very crowded goal mouth, and again, in fact, I think we can actually give credit to the Celtic defence again there, can't we, for blocking the shot?
Well, Paul McStay was very quick to him there, that I think both sets of midfield players and defenders will be quickly out in anything that lands outside the penalty area. But as you were saying, Eamon Bannon, is certainly, we haven't seen a great deal of him, but when we have seen him going down that line, then he is a dangerous player. He's capable of taking on one or two players and delivering the crosses, and Dundee United will be looking for a bit more of that in the second half.
Actually, in fact, we haven't seen very much of the goalkeepers, really, have we? I mean, I don't think either Paddy Bonner or Hamish have really had an awful lot to do.
No, they haven't had anything of a difficult nature to do. That the good bit of quality defending for me, Dougie, was Tom McAdam's header, because I really felt at one stage he was chasing a lost cause.
Yeah.
Dodge is good in there, and the ball was in front of him there, but Tom McAdam got round and covered him very, very well. Got a tremendous clearing header. That's really been the closest anyone's come to a goal, from my point of view.
Well, there we are. I think we can just about go back out onto the pitch again, because I can see the masked bands beginning to take their leave of the Hampden pitch. It has been a first-class first half without goals. Maybe that'll be put right in the second half. We can find that out as we go back outside with that message to the V&Es and rejoin Archie McPherson.
Well, I wonder if 80,000 Celtic supporters stitched that sign together, because the conviction of Celtic was that they were unfairly knocked out of that European competition, and I must say I go along with that, having witnessed the two particular games. By the way, one of the happiest journalists in the press box is Roger Bailey of the Daily Record, whose son, we discovered, won one of our prizes in our cup final quiz. I'm glad for the wee fella, because I don't think his daddy would have bought him the tracksuit. So there we are, a happy man indeed. And the Celtic supporters obviously indicating that they are happy, and there is the founding flag, as it were, 1888. Well, thankfully we have the sun, which will do a bit of drying, for the supporters have been unexpectedly drenched. Now, there is a lucky section, and there it is. Dundee United at the traditional Rangers end of the ground. And in the future, although we're not absolutely sure when, in the future the enclosure will go right round and Hampden will be all covered, and certainly way in the distant future all seated. These are the plans for a Hampden Park that is slowly being renovated and brought back into the 20th century. And here are the ball boys. Celtic will now have the sun at their backs. Paul Hegarty was delighted. We're talking about that Tom McAdam header. Totally agree with Billy McNeill. It was quite superb. Tom has been very unfortunate, as I said, missing cup finals through injury and suspension. He tells a story the last time he was booked. Just before the final, his brother Tom, playing Bompard at Thistle, rushed up to the referee and pleaded, "You can't book him, he'll miss the final, go and book me instead." But the referee unfortunately didn't heed his plea. It is nice to note, by the way, that both sets of players, before they came out to play this game, autographed a ball which will be auctioned for the Bradford Fund down in Bradford. Mr. McGinley about to start the second half. On we go. 45 minutes left, and the possibility of extra time, of course. Billy Kirkwood. Aiken shouting for everybody to get out of the way. Fine. That's right beyond David Neary. Johnston. Well, initially I thought that Malthus may have been impeding him, but the referee judges he was pulling away, and therefore it's a free kick. The head of Willie McStay, Paul McStay, David Neary. Beattie looking a bit lethargic and makes up for it. Or Thomas Malthus, who was studying for a degree in commercial or business studies. There he is. Hegarty did wisely, and look at that. It's good organisation, isn't it? Hegarty out of that central position, and he slips it back to Billy Kirkwood there. Sturrock, Dodds, Aiken, Beattie, Mill. Oh, the dummy was on, but there was nobody behind him. Johnson, superb little turn. Yes, Burns inside. Referee judged that to be illegal. I must say that the early runs there, Billy, that Celtic have had, they seem to just have a bit more room than they did in the first half.
Yeah, so just thinking that myself, Archie, I mean, that's really the first time we've seen Maurice Johnson get balls played into him and turn the defender. At the end of the day, it came to nothing, but at least he posed a threat for a spell.
Oh, here's a great run forward by Provan. Now look how finely that pass back was judged. I mean, he wasn't going to pressurise the goalkeeper by putting it near the goal. He just put it in that little corner there. High-quality defending. No offside. Still in play. Oh, a bit unfortunate for McGarvey. Here's Dodds. Looking at the ground very quickly as if the trouble might have been there. As I said just before half-time, I've enjoyed the game. I've been absorbed by it. Not brilliant, but I've been absorbed. But it's been minus a brilliant save by a goalkeeper. Let's stay a little bit too much. And no question that no matter how this game ultimately develops, United have played as well as Celtic in terms of the conditions and atmosphere. So there's Sturrock. Well, I'm two minds as to whether he attempted a little dummy or whether it was just lack of control. Richard Goff to take this. There's Sturrock again, and pushed. Promptly put down. It's McAdam, and the free kick to United. Well, Ralph Milner, I think, wants to take this. There's got Goff up there, Hegarty. It's aimed for Hegarty. McAdam winning in the air. Very few people beat McAdam, as I say, and a push there by Hegarty. Long remember Paul Hegarty's magnificent clearance, running full pelt back into his net in Bremen. One of the greatest clearances I've ever seen. A little bit of mountaineering. Aiken wanting to come forward. One of his charges, McStay. No. United actually had 10 men in the box here when McStay picked that out. This catch my quickly across the penalty area. We've backtracked massively. Well, there's the man who does the shouting in that area, like Roy Aiken. And here's Tommy Burns. 6 minutes gone. Still no scoring, and the referee will have to sort this tangle out. He's asking for the corner kick to be retaken. Big powerful men in there. Richard Gough, McAdam, Dodds, almost dwarfing Malpass. Johnston was almost there. Beanie was right on top of him. McGrain. Gough. McStay threatening. Had to play that obvious ball eventually. That was Ralph Milne back there. Ralph Milne, something of a surprise, by the way. Scored many vital goals for his club, but he hasn't found the target in 16 appearances in the Scottish Cup, as compared to scoring 13 goals in Europe. Would you believe? A late-ish free kick. Well, Archie Knox seems to be just a slightly more haphazard opening to this half.
Maybe so, but it's much more open. Both teams and both sets of players are getting a bit more time on the ball. Not as frantic as it was in the first half, and this will maybe lead to something a bit better here.
Danny McGrain doesn't want to make it better for United there. Kept his eye on that very closely. Here's Daddy. He's lost all his razors. Johnston. Oops. Right off it. Oh, that was hard, yes, free kick. Well, that noise you can hear in the background is the response of the Dundee United supporters. That's floated in well. Great clearance again by McAdam. Outstanding in the air. Bannon. Here's Malpass. Oh, should have done that better. David Dodds. There's a shot, he scored. BD has scored for Dundee United. The deadlock is broken. 9 minutes of that second half gone, and there is an eruption of joy under that enclosure. What a clever goal that was, and David Dodds was right at the basis of it. Brilliantly skilled play initially, then swept it across, and Beattie side-footing it and angling it all in the one. 1-0 for United. Certainly came, not surprisingly, but the subtleness of the move by Dodds way back, totally deceiving Roy Aitken. Here's Billy Kirkwood. He has lots of space, so has Ralph Milne. Milne can't keep it in, though, and it was a bad ball by Kirkwood, though, an uneven ball. Now, watch this. Isn't that superb, the way he went round Aiken, and he was pressurised, and that's very good finishing. McStay. Barnes. David Provan. A bit of pushing there in the penalty area. Bannon swept it round well. Roy Aitken stuck in the chase. Well, Billy McNeill, where stands Celtic now?
Yeah, well, they've now got it all to do, Archie. They've gone to go behind, and really it was just a little bit of slack casual defensive work early on, but all credit to David Dodge. He worked hard and kept his nerve and put a good ball in, and the lad in BD came in and finished it well. The Celtic have got it all to do now.
Well, they were behind against Aberdeen last year, of course. The game went to extra time because he fought to the final whistle and got their equaliser. And I expect that the fight will last to the very end again as McGarvey battles away. No free kick. Goal kick. Well, Archie Knox, would you give a lot of the credit for that goal to David Dodge?
Well, there's no question about that. He was put under tremendous pressure from Roy Aitken there and managed to turn him and lay the ball in for Beattie, who produced an absolutely brilliant finish.
Walter Smith, by the way, Archie Knox, maybe interested in this. Walter Smith came out of his dugout like Superman, took off.
Well,
Not surprisingly.
There's no way that Walter Smith is ever Superman, so it must have been somebody else you were seeing, Archie.
Goff. Now Mill. Yes, referee indicates it is a throw. McLeod. Bannon. Malpas comes forward and does very well, driving in. McLeod goes with him. Bannon. And the referee has stopped the play, said that was an illegal tackle on Wallace Malpas. It's a free kick. It's wide, and it's now with Ralph Milne. Kirkwood. And all these hard-working players will mean something for United now. The Billy Kirkwoods, the Malpasses, the Beatties in midfield, David Dodge. Right off the back of Sturrock's head, but it's United's ball. Well, I think this man could play with one boot. Is that a Sheepshank? Sturrock. Oh, hasty, panicky looking cross there by Billy Kirkwood. Absolutely no need for him to commit himself so early. The scoreline, 15 minutes of the second half gone. Bill, high over again, Tommy Byrne. Goff. Dreadful pass by Burns. Celtic looks slightly shocked at the moment. Kirkwood. Bannon. Sturrock. There's Dodge. Now Richard Goff. Oh, brilliantly taken by McStay. Using the chest and the swivel and away it went to safety. Supporters want me to give the score. I can tell them it's 1-0. And they're playing with confidence. McLeod doesn't get there. Now he's talking about this tireless energy the hard workers, and that was evidence of it there. Billy Kirkwood stepping in a defensive position. And a bad ball to Frank McGarvey. Almost did a Davie Dodds there. Now we have Mill. Pushed it too far. Willie McStay. Now, too much there by Danny McGrain. McStay got it late. Willie, that is. Here's McGrain. Offside, McGarvey. Well, Billy, I heard you talking about the introduction of Brian McClair. I think it's almost inevitable, isn't it?
I think it's got to happen, Archie, yes. At the moment, you know, Celtic look a team that need a little bit of inspiration. Now, at the moment, it's difficult to see where that's going to come from. Even the support, which is, to me, is the best support in the business, they've gone just a little bit quiet. They're looking for something, and I think the Celtic team are looking for inspiration. But at the moment, really, to be fair to Dundee United, they're not going to allow Celtic any quarter at all.
Well, I think that's right. I mean, I expected a quick retort by Celtic, and it's simply not developed. Early days yet. And if you're a United supporter, manager, player, agonisingly long stretch of the game to go yet, but here is Milne. But hasty, David Dodds was almost in. It's a corner kick. Good move by United. I thought it was slightly hasty. Ralph Milne with that. However, they get the corner. Bannon making that play originally. There's Milne. And in King Dawes very quickly winning the corner. Well, that's very wide indeed. McAdam, McLeod, Burns will go for it. No chance of getting it. Well, I think Danny McGrain thought that was offside. It's not. McLeod. Now McStay. Deft little pass. Now look who is back there defending. David Dodds from the whole end of the field to get back there. There goes Mill and Sturrock. Oh. That's a neat pass. It's actually Billy Kirkwood on the far side. Mill came in. And Bonner's there. Well, we're getting these fast and fluid raids by United that look very impressive. They're growing in impressiveness. Bit of a wrestling match. McGarvey doesn't like it. And here is the substitution. Brian McClair coming on. Anxious McClair to get on. Signed for Celtic by Billy McNeill, but never actually played under him. Went to the Golden Boots Award in Paris as Scotland's top goal scorer for last season. And United fans will remember his outstanding solo goal against the Tannadice men earlier this season when he ran the full end of Celtic Park, possibly one of the goals of the season. Useful ball. Cloud. Stay. Might let fly. He does. That's all off goal. I wonder if I could ask Billy before I come back to Archie, having a look at Paul McStay again. You haven't seen him all that often recently, Billy. Notice any changes in him?
No, I think the one thing about Paul, he's always had this maturity about him, Archie, and we possibly tend to expect far too much of him. We still got to appreciate, however talented he is, he's still learning the game a bit. He's found it difficult today, as any good quality player would, with close attention, and he hasn't had the same impact as you would hope. But he showed little instances over the last few minutes that maybe the game's going to turn his way.
And the free kick to Celtic. That's the header in a weak one. Both McAdam and Aiken had come forward. And the big men there, of course, very difficult to beat, the Richard Goffs, etc. We've gone 21 minutes now. There's Goff. Milne. Oh, good covering up though by McAdam. He saw that coming a mile away. Didi. If he does nothing else, will be remembered for that goal. There's Provan coming in. There's Hamish McAlpin. We've seen him put it out of goal in that, of course. Billy Kirkwood. Dodds. Ismail. Just eluding McGrain and no more, and I think the tackle is considered by the referee to be rather latent. Goff. Starek. And the referee says that was a dive. That'll be interesting to see that one again. I mean, Mr. McGinley was almost breathing down the incident's neck, as it were, and he indicated a dive. Celtic on the counter-attack. There's Brian McClare getting his first touch of the ball. It's a corner kick. Well, here it is. Well, difficult to tell from that angle. A jury would say not guilty. It's a curling ball, and that's David Dodds again. McAlpin, and I think the foul in any case. Now, what do you make of this combining of defenders and the interchange? Because that was Dodds back again, almost on his goal line. Archie Knox, Dundee United, they have been under pressure, but like this, if you just watch this first, look at Dodds, and watch this pressure here, and according to the referee, there was a foul. I'm just saying, Archie, that United are very well organised, aren't they?
Oh, well, defensively, they're as good as any team in the country, and being in this position a goal up, then Celtic are going to find it exceptionally hard to get back in the game. However, with the introduction of Brian McClare, and I think, in my own opinion, playing in probably his best position, then they would look to him to make some runs or some telling runs with the ball.
By the way, I thought it was very, very narrow, that offside decision, just as we were talking, Archie. However, as McStay, Richard Goff has it. Milne wanted to go through the player. And in this last very important section of the game, with just over 20 minutes remaining, players like Hegarty and Neri will earn their wages. Milne. Offside. Referee waves play on them, but Sturrock was certainly offside. Johnston. Well, that's what I meant about Hegarty. Proving his salt. Kirkwood looks slightly tired there. Danny McGrain comes forward. Now, Johnston. McStay. There's Danny McGrain. Oh. Well, Billy, this has been one of the weaknesses of Danny's play, has it not? He's never been able to finish.
Well, he's not the greatest finisher in the world, but he's made up for that in other departments, obviously, Archie. But one interesting aspect of the game just now, I think this is the trickiest patch for Dundee United yet, and I think this is when their discipline and their ability is going to be sorely tested. The Celtic are going to have a go, and they look as though they could create a problem or two.
Yeah, they're coming more into the game. Suddenly found the edge again, and the purpose. That's one man who will never give up, playing away tirelessly. He's underrated by certain players. Now the record for a transfer fee, bringing a player to Scotland when he signed from Liverpool for $250,000 in March 1980. That year he came, by the way, to Parkhead was the only year he's won the Cup Winners' Medal. That's offside. McClair, the very man that Archie Knox was talking about, in his best position, just behind the strikers, coming forward. Oh, and having built him up. Danny McGrain again. Oh. Well, he's certainly trying to prove me wrong. Well, that was a very good finish. He kept it down, took a player on first, and he did everything right. There wasn't much wrong with that at all. Well, somebody's shin guards have been brought to the line. I didn't quite catch who it was. There it is. Looks like a smoke canister, but it might be a smoke canister. There's Dodds. Played it out. Look at the two of them there. Oh. Here's Billy Kipwood. There will be a chip. There's Dodds. Sturrock and Bonner's there. Just a kind of slow motion look about that. The two players have got free on the right. Could hardly believe the latitude they got, outnumbering the defender. Clare and Malfa steps in. Away goes McStay. Oh, takes his eye right off it. Miscue there by Roy Aitken to Dodds. McStay coming back, backtracking very quickly. Well, free kick to Celtic. Archie Knox, I'm getting the message that Celtic are going to bring O'Leary on now. What do you think of that?
Well, I really don't know where, with being a defender, then it might mean that Roy Aitken's going to push into the middle of the park, and that might be the spur that Celtic need at this stage, because they certainly need something. As the game goes on and you come to the latter stages, then players are going to tire, and somebody like Roy Aitken coming into the middle of the park, who is somebody that will most certainly keep going for the entire 90 minutes, then might be just the inspiration that Celtic need.
Agree with that, Billy?
Yeah, I think they've got to take a chance now.
And Paul McStay is coming off, by the way.
Yeah, sometimes a manager's got to go unpopular, but to be fair, it's the last cast of the dice for David Hayes. He's going to put O'Leary in the back and push Roy Aitken forward, hope that his appetite.
And there goes Aitken just flashing across the picture, Billy, as you spoke. Yeah.
You know, it's one of these things, Archie. He's got to try something. He's gambling now with 15 minutes to go.
Yes, he wants to disturb this United defence, which is getting more and more confident. And there's O'Leary, first touch. No, that has gone out, I think. Well, I must say, I agree with you, Billy, that Celtic, about 10 minutes ago, began to look very good. Now certainly they've gone to pieces again slightly.
Well, the game's got a bit ragged. They've not had any immediate success, actually, so you start to panic just a little bit. But they'll still have a go.
Now, McClair. In slides Neri, and that is offside against David Dodds. And we have exactly 15 minutes of this cup final left, of the normal time left. Dodds, tangle of legs. Go to United. Bannon. Johnson got up for the big man. And away by Gough. Off Monty McLeod has been quite-ish in this last quarter, when obviously Celtic would want the likes of him to be driving forward due to his strength and his great shooting ability. And Hamish McCaffrey really hasn't been tested. Not at all happy about that. Durrock on the turn. Well, he did very well, and I noticed he was rather unsighted from the goal. I thought the best thing to do is put it round. He did well. Now McGowan. It's a reverse pass, and Aiken is up there, as he said. Here's the shot I expected. Free kick, and this could be very interesting. Now, I've seen Celtic score from free kicks, if not absolutely directly, then from some of the intricate moves that Provan and McLeod have worked out together. That's a free kick. There's Hamish McAlpin. And only twice in the history of the Scottish Cup have goals been scored direct from a free kick. Is this a bit of history? It is! Davie Provan, the equaliser. Minutes of the second half gone, and only the third direct free kick scored in the history of this competition. And they don't care about the history books just now. The reality of the present is that Provan, with one kick, has brought Celtic back into this game when they looked as if they were dying on the feet. A superbly struck free kick. Away it went, and McAlpin couldn't possibly get near that. Go to McNeill.
Yeah, well, they were looking for inspiration, Archie. They've got it now. This is what they wanted. This is what they needed. They've got the response on the Terracing as well. I think Dundee United are in for a very, very hectic last 12 minutes or so.
Well, I don't know why they want to hide themselves. Smoke has become very popular. Aiken goes up. That's round the side. Richard Gough goes in. And here's Mill. The reverse one, but mopped up by Celtic. Here's Durrock. Oh. Provan. Oh, what a change in the team. Great degree of urgency. There's Johnston, takes his eye off it, and out comes McAlpin. And Dundee United remain admirably cool. Of the game left. There's Aiken wanting it and charges forward. Sizing people up. Both McLeod and Johnson the opportunity to sweep it in. Gough. Trying to slow things down. Can he put it away? Great goalkeeping, and there's no flag up. And I think that was a distinct miss. Good goalkeeping, but I would have thought he'd been able to chip him or put it to the side. Swatch has been right through. Deep touch there. There's McGarvey. Well, no, it was a difficult angle. McAlpin did rather well. McGrain. There's Johnston. And United are on the right. in their character that McNeill was alluding to is now really being put under strain and stress. The near post one. There's a header again, right across goal. Well, Archie, very briefly, do you think United can hold on like this?
Well, they're going to be in for a torrid last 5 minutes. It's amazing what a goal can do for a team. Tired legs have suddenly become fresh legs again, and United, having looked in control up until that goal, are suddenly going through the mill now, and it's going to be very difficult for them to maybe hold out for this last 5 minutes.
Yes, no. To Holt, to Milne. Got to bring it under control, and McGrain finding that inspiration again. And considers also that he got a throw in. Well, you can't win everything. He did collar Milne, which was the most important thing. Here's Sturrock. There's nobody there in the middle for United. There's Provan, but Holt picks it up very well indeed. Bannon to dodge, through to Sturrock, and he can't get there. Neat little piece of interpassing by United, but Celtic read it very quickly. Well, you can hear the Celtic supporters now. Stretching the larynxes a bit after a very subdued spell, as Billy said, near the middle of the second half. Well, Danny McGrain just got rid of that and no more. Oh, Celtic defence deciding to be suicidal. Billy Kirkwood. There goes Milne, and he dabs it ahead too quickly. Oh, he's all right. Man of iron. Well, these cup finals have a habit of going to extra time. Looked like a push. No. There's McClare. Davie. Hegarty. Here's Aiken. Good drifting ball. It's there, McGarvey. 2-1. 5 minutes left. And he may survive the jubilation. McGarvey has got one of the most crucial goals he has ever scored. There'll be a great deal of carousing if Celtic can hold out these last 5 minutes. A great run by Aiken, and pushing him forward paid off with that one header alone. McAlpin has had no chance with that. From the side, look at that, just nudged it away from McAlpin. And this has obviously stunned United, but they must try and fight back now. Four minutes left. There's the hero, Frank McGarvey. As I said, cost Celtic $250,000. He's been in and out of the side, but has always been, in my books, a very useful player indeed. I think it's a free kick. No, it's a throw. Throw to United. So precious little time for them to save this. Ball was up, and David Dodds was almost in there. There's O'Flynn again, and O'Leary has done brilliantly in the space of 10 seconds. The big Irishman doing a macadam almost. Great defensive work. Just up he went there for this. And right on the spot to head that off. Goff tries to go in. McClair doesn't clear it well. Here's Milne. Oh, I don't think Sturrock went for that. Stunned-looking ball Sturrock. Johnson going in, suddenly got some room. And that's a late tackle. Quickly taken, Provan. Right to the line. Cuts it back. Well read though by Malthus. Still Celtic though. McAlpin settles for the goal kick, and I wonder if he realises that there are 2 minutes left. There's hardly room to breathe in there, let alone dance and sing. John Holt, Aiken, hard into it as ever. There's a great shot by Malthus. Just floated away at the last. As good a shot as we've had all afternoon, drifting away. Amazing transformation in the second half. And there is Malthus with that forlorn gesture of much time was left. I think in a minute. Celtic a minute away from winning the 100th Scottish Cup final. After what we've seen, almost anything can happen. Ralph Milne will get the corner out of it. Maybe the last concrete chance that United have of saving this game, and they're committing everybody. Only Malthus in the centre circle, McAlpin at the back. Vannon wants it. United trying to fight hard. It's an up and under, and Bonner should win that one. Referee saying to Bonner he's watching the time. We're edging towards the conclusion of this historic game. Look at McAlpin, he's away out, and he'll get there. McAlpin again, and this time safely into his hands. There will be injury time. How long, I'm not sure. And there is Goff. Really got to throw everything into it now. Balls in the Celtic crowd, and they may take some time to come back, in fact. Well, promptly. Well into injury time. 30 seconds into it. Holt. Sturrock. No, can't get it. And there it goes. David Hay, after 2 years, has won his first trophy. Don't they realise it? Oh, the jubilations down in that bench a minute ago. David Hay was swamped by his players. There he is. He survived, and, you know, he really is one of the gentlemen in the sport. Calm. Sometimes a little bit tense and calm, but nevertheless, he has steered Celtic to this historic victory. Paul McStay in there, the man who was substituted, and a team that seemed out of it at a significant period in that second half, fighting back, and there's no question but that the man who changed the whole tide was Davie Provan with that one kick. I somehow get the feeling if that hadn't come, that break that would have been talked about, then things might have been very difficult indeed. Look at this. There is no greater feeling, I suppose, that mixture of relief and exhilaration and triumph. Oh, I think Frank McGarvey is almost in tears. As the supporters who probably will not leave Hampden Park for some time, and I would imagine the Celtic players have forgotten, I think, that they've got to go and get a cup. They're waiting a long time for this, and we've got Davie here.
Davie, what a tremendous game, but you must have been worried a little bit.
A wee bit, you know, to be honest with you, but 2 great goals to win the cup. In front of the greatest fans in the world.
Did you think in the first half that things were going your way?
That was a tight game, and we were worried the fact United got the first goal.
Did that unsettle your rhythm, do you think?
For a wee spell there, but fortunately the guys showed all the character of the world be coming back, and I'm pleased to see them getting up first today instead of second.
Congratulations, thank you, David.
And that was Reeve Alderson speaking to David Hay. Who's he going to shake hands with? I think one of his handicap supporters. Danny McGrain received the Scottish Cup. The 5th time he's been in a cup-winning side. The man who scored that brilliant free kick, as I said, only 3 free kicks, direct free kicks scored. The other 2 were by Morton. And that's not to me, that's to the cameraman. Pierce O'Leary come on and played his part near the end. Maurice Johnston. And each one greeted in a ritualistic way by the supporters. Tom McAdam, of whom high praise was given in that first half for a brilliant clearance. Brian McClair, the South. Pat Warner, who, as I said, his twin brother was playing in the Irish Cup in Galway a few weeks back. And Tommy Burns. And we have Danny McGrain. Let's talk to Danny down there.
Danny McGrain, congratulations on winning yet another cup. Did you think it was always going to come to Celtic Park?
Before the game, yes. During the game, yes. The 1-0, I was very confident. The boys done terrific. The boys done tremendously well. The support was terrific.
Tremendous goals too.
Great. I wish I could remember them. Having it happened that quick. 2 goals, I didn't care how they went in. They went in, and the cup's in Parkhead.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Well, Danny can hardly find breath, but he will now to go down and greet that support that he was talking about. First of all, I think going to the photographers. The laugh of triumph. In they go for that team photograph. Celtic have played in the 43rd final and have now won the cup 27 times. And down they go to their support. Massed in serried ranks. They get 2 medals today, by the way. They get the Cup Winners' Medal and they get the special 100th Cup medal. Oh. One of the cameramen almost destroyed himself. And down they go, and they're allowed a lap of honour at their own end, where their own supporters are. I think they will stay on for some time. By the way, the man of the match, the Mr. Superfit Award, has gone, not surprisingly, to Roy Aitken. That vital switch that Davie Hay made, how crucial it was, pushing David Hay, pushing Roy Aitken forward, putting Pierce O'Leary at the back and taking always a popular player, Paul McStay, off. It was a bit of a gamble. It paid off, and he's like a 12-year-old again. A big 12-year-old, I may say. Who's that? It's McGrain. Out there, is that a supporter? No, I think it may be Maurice Johnson going across. The figure it suddenly went across to the, well, Thomas climbed into the crowd. There he is, top of the picture. Just raised the camera a little. There he is. That was Maurice Johnson. The police wisely getting him away from the supporters. And we have Davie Provan. Right, Davie, talk to us.
Davie, what a tremendous goal. Have you been practicing that?
Yeah, we've been practicing them all week actually, but sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't, and today, well, the big man up there just smiled on us.
There was a wee bit of a gap just under the angle that it went in. It was perfectly positioned.
Well, I aimed for just outside the post, and usually the ball will come in a bit. It came in a yard, and that was enough.
Did you think earlier in the game that it was going your way?
Half-time, I thought it was even Stevens. When United went ahead, obviously we had an awful lot to do. Once we got the equaliser, I thought there was only going to be one runner, and that was us.
In terms of the big man at the heart of the defence, Roy, congratulations. How did you think it was going?
I thought when it went 1-0, it'd be a very hard team to break down. They're very good when they go ahead, they sit back, they kill the game. But to be fair to our boys, we kept at it. What a goal by Davie, what a goal by Frank McGarvey. But that's what it's all about. Look around the stadium. That's what it means to win this cup for Celtic. They punt us out here.
And never have further words been spoken, and there's Davie Hay with the Scottish Cup. I think he'll have a few drams out of that tonight, and he deserves it. He's been under strain. The Celtic supporters don't like to go too long without winning something, and well, he felt at times, I think, that he was living in borrowed time. But now that confirms him as a successful Celtic manager. And these supporters utterly delighted. They've come from all over. You heard what Roy Aitken said about them. They're an integral part of the Celtic success. Down below us is still hugging and kissing each other. In a way, you feel that Celtic can hardly believe it, having been, and I think that the players pointed that out, 1-0 behind against a highly talented and drilled side, well organised, and then suddenly that amazing goal, and then the winner. An incredible climax for this match, and that was a very nice gesture. There are handicapped supporters down right underneath us in that special section, which was hewn out especially a couple of years ago. Well, they'll remember that for a long time. There's a little boy in blue funneling Davies. He must be in a tolerant mood. And he'll take time to turn and shake hands and autograph, and I wonder if the nerves are so intact that they can sign autographs. Well, they played their part, didn't they? They made a lot of noise. They were colourful. They were vociferous. They made the cup final with the support for Celtic. So did the Dundee United supporters as well, but outnumbered today quite clearly. And just above them in the studio to summarise the whole afternoon, and that amazing climax. Dougie Donnelly with Billy McNeill.
Yes, great scenes of delight and jubilation among the Celtic support. Tinged, I would think, gentlemen, with a little bit of relief, because halfway through that second half, Celtic didn't look like finding the inspiration which finally came, did they, Billy?
Well, to me it was a real cup final, Dougie. I think there's moments of magic in cup final. We saw 2 moments of magic really tonight.
Goals,
yeah, because let's be honest, Dundee United at 1-0 looked a better side, looked much more composed, and Celtic was searching for inspiration. They got it in the shape of Davie Provan's tremendous free kick, tremendous. But I doubt very much if we'll see a better goal than the second one. Yeah. Great run from Roy Aitken, tremendous early cross, and a great header from Frank McGarvey.
He was almost parallel with the ground when he put the ball in the net, wasn't he? He was
well, I thought it was a great goal. But to me, it was the old kids' school, the old kids' comics. It was the stuff that cup finals are made of. And there was memories here for everyone. Delighted, obviously, I was for the players, but more delighted for David Hay and the supporters. They probably suffered just that little bit more, and it was good to see that.
David's delight was obvious there, wasn't it? Archie, well, I think we've got to spare a few thoughts for United, because they really did look very comfortable halfway through the second half. They were sticking the ball about, and they looked as if they were going to hold on and win the cup for the first time, didn't they?
Well, it certainly looked like that, and I think they'll maybe be regretting it a bit themselves that they didn't really push home the advantage when they were a goal up at that stage, and push forward to maybe look for another one. But all credit to Celtic fighting back. The changing point in the game for me was when Roy Aitken goes into the middle of the park, and there was no way that he was going to surrender anything at all, and obviously he gets his just reward by producing the cross for the winning goal.
That's right. I think for me, probably Roy Aitken as man of the match. Would you, either of you agree with that? Because there were a lot of great performances out there. Billy?
Well, I mean, he was superb as a defender today. And really, probably his enthusiasm and his appetite changed the game very much in Celtic's favour. Roy's an unbelievable character. He wouldn't accept defeat very easily. He's had disappointments in, cup finals last season, Dougie, so I think he set out to make up for it tonight. I don't think anybody could argue against him.
All right. I think
David Hay, the manager, and of course the captain, Danny McGrain. Let me go to Roy first. I wonder, when you changed and the tactics were changed and you went forward, if you felt that even despite that, the game was going to slip away from you 1-0 down.
I think at that stage it was, we're all pushing forward for a goal. When they go one ahead, they don't normally lose it, Archie. I mean, they tend to spoil the game when they go one ahead. They knock it back to the goalie, they keep a hold of the ball. I mean, to be fair to the boys, we kept at them, and as you say, what a great goal by Davie Provan.
Did you enjoy going forward?
Great. As I say, I'll play wherever I'm picked to play. It's always nice to get in the midfield. You're involved in the game more. And at that stage in the game, we had all the ball at that time.
By and large, how did you want to play this game, Davie?
To win the cup. To be honest, Archie, we knew it was always going to be a hard game because United are a first-class side. We were a bit concerned when they scored the first goal, because I felt we'd upper hand without sort of pressurising them at the back in the first half. And all credit to the players for coming back in. I think we won the cup in the true Celtic tradition.
Were you, like anybody else, worried when they did go in front?
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I was thinking again, is this another runners-up for me, and as I say, this would have been the third final, and really I don't think I could have taken it. But fortunately, I've got to thank the lads and got to thank that great support in the terracing today.
Danny, that's your fourth, I believe, fifth. I beg your pardon. You're quite right. Your fifth winners one, and a couple of runners-up. Would you put that down as one of the best?
Yeah, I would do. The boys, as you say, Dundee United went in front. The heads went down a bit. After about 5-10 minutes, Dundee United had a hold of the game. We came back after that. The manager changed a few things in the middle of the park, and that was at the turning point in the game. And Roy going forward with his forceful play. Half.
I was talking to people about the first ever Scottish Cup win, like Jock Stein thought Dunfermline when he won it was marvellous. But the very fact, Danny, that you've gone 2 years without winning anything, does that make it a bit special?
Makes it a little bit sweeter, due to the fact we've had a little bit of disappointment this year with Rapid Vienna. The supporters have been sort of kicked in the teeth, as with we, the players, and the club. Excuse me. And this is where we are repaying our fans with a great support.
Davie, I think you hinted at it there in your previous reply that you couldn't have stood it if you'd had another runners-up. What did you mean by that? What would have happened if you haven't lost, but what were you thinking of there?
Well, you'll never know, Archie, because it didn't happen, to be honest. OK, there'd be a lot of questions put the fact that you're Celtic manager and you're always runner-up, then you'd have questioned yourself a wee bit, but I'd probably still carried on if the fans and the board had wanted it.
Did you enjoy the day in total, or has it now been obliterated by just that short memory of these two goals?
No, I think the Scottish Cup final is always a game that's remembered the whole day. I mean, it's the build-up's been all week for us. We went to see them on Thursday. I mean, we've built up all week for this game, and the full deal will remember the me anyway.
Well, I thought it was a great game. I really did. I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable. And lads, just don't go away just now. We're going to be seeing the FA Cup final, which, as you know, was between Everton and Manchester United.
David Dodd. There's a shot, he scored! And only twice in the history of the Scottish Cup have goals been scored direct from a free kick. Is this a bit of history? It is! Hegarty, here's Aiken. Good drifting ball, it's there, Davie!
So I reckon it's about a 7 or 8 aside game at the moment. Well, Bobby Robson could be down to 7 or 8 unless he's careful. A replay of this final on Thursday would upset the makeup of his World Cup squad for Finland on Wednesday, of course. So he'll be hoping for a goal one way or the other. Mountfield's cross. Gray's coming in. There are England squad players on both sides. But this is Mark Hughes of Wales. Brian Robson's up with the attack, number 7. Sheedy, though, got to Robson. Is he feeling the pace a bit? Kevin Ratcliffe. This is McGrath. Duxbury, who came on for Orbiston after the 90 minutes was up. Good touch by Jesper Olsen, but Duxbury a check to avoid being offside. So Everton still haven't let in a goal at Wembley. It's almost 4 matches they've played here now in recent times. And are we going to see the first goalless Wembley FA Cup final? Or will we see some drama as Olsen latches on to the pass by Stapleton? In the centre is Mark Hughes. Still Olsen. Robson. And there are players coming here. Robson shot. There were players coming to his right, hoping he would lay it off. Kidman. Bracewell. Sharp to Gray. Trevor Stephen wide on the right. Possibilities here for Everton. And it's still Stephen. And Stevens comes through. Olsen had to come back and check him. Sheedy there in the left back spot because Vanden Hau's pushed on. Here's Reid. Reid to Gray. Bracewell just to his left. Bracewell shot hits Kidman. Reid. Stephen. Gray is closing. He felt he was blocked. Corner anyway. Palmed away by Bailey. Arguments with Whiteside and the goalkeeper. and Vanden Hauwe wait to flick it on. Gray waits to come in. And headed backwards by a defender, and turned on, I think it was Brian Robson who almost scored an own goal. Well, that would have been an own goal. I think it was Robson on the near post. And if it was, I'll tell you, it was mighty close. And Everton here seem to have sensed this could be the moment. They have another free kick. But no danger. That was a near thing for Manchester United. This is Olsen. Robson to Hughes. And still Mark Hughes. And a chance here, right side. Defender in the way. Great play by Hughes. Well, it has completely opened up, and if you can predict anything, a goal looks more likely now than at any other time in the afternoon. They've got Gray on the ball, Sharp is coming in, Gidman, McGrath, half blocked by Sheedy, Vanden Hauwe. Everton are looking for the treble now, without a doubt. A man to spare. Vanden Hauwe chips it in. Gray. But still, Manchester United playing with great pluck and intelligence, get the ball out, and they've made their own openings already in extra time. And this fellow Hughes is coming into it more and more. And here's Whiteside. Strachan is following up. Olsen on this side. That's all he's got. Whiteside shoots. It's there! Norman Whiteside has done it again. Embraced by his colleagues after putting Manchester United in front with a goal out of nothing. The youngest scorer in Wembley FA Cup final history 2 years ago. He's still only just 20, and he writes another chapter in one of the great storybook biographies of post-war football. He planted that left foot shot wide of the Footballer of the Year after 110 minutes. Manchester United in front, but it's Stephen with the cross, and Sharp coming in, and McGrath to save it. Is the dream of the treble disappearing? Has the prospect of the League and Cup double gone? Is Whiteside's goal going to win it? Wembley now truly on fire. There's a tremendous feeling of expectancy on the Manchester United side. Stephen takes the corner. Sheedy! And here's Strachan. A great break by him. And now it's Olsen. Well, what can you say about Manchester United and Norman Whiteside? With only 10 men, they have produced a goal fitting in its way to win a cup final. He had no option apart from one player in the middle, and he took it on himself, kept the responsibility, and with that trusted left foot, planted a marvellous shot past Southall. 8 minutes to go. Olsen. Robson. Gidman. And this is Reed. And again. The match and the occasion have come to life in a quite unexpected way. The Everton supporters are absolutely silenced by what's happened. They had the man advantage, but the goal has gone the other way. in and away by Duxbury. And this is Whiteside, the goal scorer, who's done much of his good work, far deeper than that. Olsen now. Olsen against Gary Stevens. Couldn't take him for pace because Stevens himself is so quick. Again, away by Ratcliffe. Robson. They're 6 minutes away, Manchester United, from their second FA Cup triumph in 3 seasons. But can Everton, who've come so late so often, save it yet with Trevor Stephen? McGrain, the assistant manager, and Howard Kendall, the Everton boss, reflecting the widely differing emotions on the bench and on the field, and indeed on the terraces. Foul by Mike Duxbury. Will tell you that. They've often scored in the last 5 minutes, and that's what they've got to do here. So Manchester United, particularly a man short, have got to keep their shape. This is Hughes. Now it's Robson. He's got caught in possession, which could be... Oh, he's fouled Peter Reid. Now Robson has to be careful. He's been booked. Reid, the man at the centre of the Moran controversy. I wouldn't write Everton off even at this stage. Mountfield is up there. Vanden Hauwe is up there. To go. Gray's up. And Strachan. The police gathered in front of the supporters, always a sure sign there isn't long to go. Bracewell. Stapleton doing a manful job in defence. Has to be that against Andy Gray. Could they get a second on the break? Because that's also a possibility. Through the back door. Jesper Olsen. Well, what drama here. Stapleton playing centre-half. Howard Kendall on his feet. Ron Atkinson also. So much at stake. Ratcliffe with the kick. Stapleton brilliantly away from Gray. And Mark Hughes could set something up. Could he put Jesper Olsen through down the centre against Gary Stevens? He has, but it's a foul. Olsen down, Stevens put him there. I think Brian Robson has said to the referee, well, if you put Moran off, what about that? But it's not the same situation quite. Strachan is having a little argument with Reid. There are some emotions bubbling over here. Reid had a go, I think, about Robson. But the ball is with Whiteside. He's got Gidman out on the right wing. Only two little men in the middle at the moment. But Gidman's going to play for time. But the corner flag's got the worst of that. With 2 minutes to go, and this kick by Duxbury. Stapleton's there. Reid. There's still work to be done here for Manchester United to prevent Everton from forcing a replay. Sharp's flicked it in. So has Bracewell. Mountfield's up there. Oh, he could so easily have equalised. I don't think he knew how good the chance was. There was no defender anywhere near him. And he put it into a grateful Bailey's arms. Manchester United 1, Everton 0. It doesn't look as though they're going to do the treble or the League and Cup double after all, Everton. Their fans seem to believe that now. And Manchester United, who in the 1977 final upset a treble bid by Everton's neighbours Liverpool, may now do so to Everton themselves. Olsen. And here's Duxbury. Is there a chance yet? Offside flags up. Won't matter, it's offside. Manchester United have won the FA Cup for the second time in 3 years, and Everton's dream of taking an unprecedented treble is over. Ron Atkinson commiserates with Howard Kendall, and what can you say about Norman Whiteside, a cult figure now in Manchester United history? I say now, and as they console Kevin Moran, the man sent off, he's pleased enough to congratulate the others, because Whiteside, only 20 last week, has won the FA Cup. He was 14-1 to score the first goal before the match, and I hope you don't mind if I say that I was one of those who thought it was worth a bet, because wherever he goes, it's better than boys' fiction. And the Manchester United supporters are well aware of that. At the final hurdle, and in extra time at that, and with a man over. Bracewell now experiences the other side of the coin after victory in 2 other competitions, and Paul McGrain, who in the humble opinion of this commentator was a candidate for man of the match, he was superb. And the most famous football fan club in the world has Andy Gray holding his head in disbelief. Could you have predicted that? They were down to 10 men, but they still won the cup. And there are the 2 old mates from Aston Villa, John Gidman and Andy Gray, still great friends. Tremendous scenes, and what a finish. And this young man, I wonder when he gets, I was going to say, when he becomes a man, but he's never really been a boy in a football sense, Norman Whiteside. When he gets to 30, I wonder if he'll look back and believe what's happened to him. You know for yourself what he's done before now as a teenager. This is what he did today. The angle is looking pretty hopeless. There's nobody up to help him, but it's on his left foot, which is his stronger. He's got a defender in front of him. He's got one of the best goalkeepers in the business to beat, and he's curled that to perfection. And that's the goal that won the cup. That's the goal that ruined the Everton dreams. And that's the goal that sends Ron Atkinson's players up the Wembley steps for the second time in 3 years. Led by Brian Robson to receive the FA Cup from His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent. One of the happiest men inside the stadium. And plenty of them there too. Gary Bailey's goalkeeping was a feature certainly early on. They won't forget that. John Gidman, a winner's medal for him now. Gordon Strachan as well. Whiteside the scorer. McGrain outstanding. The little Dane, Jesper Olsen, with the cap in his first season at Old Trafford. Stapleton, effective in defence and attack. Hughes, who's plus to Whiteside, it should be said, set up that goal. We haven't mentioned that. Mark Hughes making a telling contribution. And Ron Atkinson proud of every one of them, including the substitute at the back, Duxbury. Moran went up for his medal. And applause too for the Football League champions and the European Cup Winners' Cup winners, Everton. They couldn't quite make it 3 in a row, but they played with their usual spirit and performance for long periods. Kevin Ratcliffe this time doesn't take a trophy. And different faces here from those of a year ago. Kiss from the chairman's wife for Peter Reid, a scarf for Derek Mountfield, commiserations for Gary Stevens, disappointment for Trevor Stephen, no action for Alan Harper, frustration for Andy Gray, and a stone wall broken in the end that Southall had put up as Bracewell and Vanden Houwe collect their losers' medals. So these two teams now will meet again at Wembley in the Charity Shield. Peter Willis, the referee, who had the fortitude and the courage of his convictions to send a player off in an FA Cup final. It will be debated, but he's the man who had to make the decision, and he didn't certainly chicken out of it. The two linesmen taking their medals, and down on the pitch, Manchester United add another page to their glamorous history. The FA Cup has almost forgotten the trophy itself in all the celebrations going on around it. But that's what the afternoon, and in many ways the season, certainly for Manchester United, has really been aimed at. Well, it makes me wonder what George Best thinks of these scenes. He had a marvellous career, but he was never an FA Cup winner. What do you think, George?
Well, tremendous, obviously. Great for the club, particularly under the circumstances. You know, they've done it with 10 men. They actually played a lot better when they were down to 10 men. But I don't want to detract from the result, but it really spoiled it a little bit, as I said earlier. The fact that anybody was sent off in the final. But for the club itself, a very, very important win. A great club like Manchester United are going to be seen to be winning trophies.
George, you had a tremendous adulation as a teenager. You did a lot of things in the game before you were 21. What about Norman Whiteside now? He's done things that even you didn't do.
Well, the kid's unbelievable. You know, when I say kid, he's still only 20. He seems to have won almost everything. And he keeps doing it. Tremendous, you know, and I'm very proud of him, even more so, the fact that he's from Northern Ireland. And I know a lot of people give him some stick about the way he plays, but that's the only way he knows how to play. And when it comes to it, he keeps doing it. Unbelievable.
Emlyn Hughes, what are your thoughts both on the United front and indeed Everton, who were deprived of the treble?
Well, to be truthful, John, United deserved to win it. especially after they got down to 10 men. They've come out and they've played with a new urgency. And as I was speaking to you before the game, John, I said Everton might just start feeling a little bit of the legs with about 20 minutes to go of normal time, and that's exactly what happened.
Let's have another word from George about the goal, eh?
Well, he's picked it up. He's got little or no help at all, and I think he's already made his mind up what he's going to do. He's still got to get past the defender. I mean, how he's got it in from there is absolutely tremendous.
It's a famous number 4 shirt, that, isn't it? Didn't Ray Wilkins get a goal a bit like that 2 years ago in the cup final? A curler in the far corner, Emlyn?
It did, yes. Yeah, that was when they got beat, though, wasn't it?
They drew, they drew and then beat Brighton in the replay.
Oh, sorry, they did, yeah. I apologise.
But I'm just saying, it's a marvellous goal with which to win the cup, isn't it, Emlyn?
Fabulous goal. The kids deserved it because he's battled away, and United have deserved it, to be fair. They've played for about 45, 50 minutes of the game with 10 men, and any side that can play with 10 men and come out and deserve to win, I mean, tremendous. I'm very, very pleased for the club.
And a new chapter perhaps opening up here for Manchester United, George, because it's a team that's been brought together now. It's won the FA Cup twice, and they must be looking now, surely, for the League Championship.
Well, obviously, I mean, it's always tremendous to win the FA Cup.
The happy scenes at Wembley, and no one happier about that Manchester United victory than the man who is sitting alongside us now, one of the most famous players ever to wear that famous red shirt, none other than Dennis Law, who we encountered on his way quietly out of Hampden. Lovely to see you, Dennis.
Nice to be up.
What about the United win then? You must be delighted.
Well, of course, you know, as I see the losers here at Hampden Park, you know, it's always sad to see the losers. And Everton, of course, you know, but they've already won the league and the European Cup Winners' Cup. So I said before the game that United would do it. I didn't think they would do it so drastically with 10 men, but it's good for the game, isn't it? It's lovely, particularly for the North, you know, with Billy's team getting promotion, Liverpool in the European Cup, and all that. It's all happening in the North, and I think United really deserve to win. On the wee bit that I saw.
Yes, and what a cup-winning goal. We saw 2 great goals here to win the cup, but an equally good goal at Wembley.
Well, it probably, I mean, we've seen many good goals and saw 3 great goals here at Hampden, but that one with Whiteside was really, because he actually did mean it, didn't he? He saw the goalkeeper on the near post, and then he saw the player, and then he bent it round, you know. It was absolutely, and a goal fit to win the cup final.
Right. So you're a happy man at your old club winning the FA Cup. What about this match here today, Dennis? Did you enjoy it?
Well, I must say, I don't know what the 2 lads said at half-time, but I thought that the first half was, you know, pretty poor, really. And I think they must have heard us at half-time, because when they came out in the second half, we had a cup final on. Dundee United deservedly taking the lead, and then it was a great goal by Pro. From up there it was anyway, the free kick. But then, of course, the winner by McGarvey was one of the... I don't know, you see many goals at Hampden Park, haven't you? Was that as good as you've ever seen?
As well,
he scored. No, I don't know if it's just as good as the ones I scored.
Well, we've talked about the goals, fellas. Let's see them again, beginning with the United goal, the Stuart Beattie goal. A lot of the credit, I think, going to Davie Dodds, Archie.
That's right, he was challenged by Roy Aiken here. Turned Roy, flicked it over his head, played it into Beattie, and Beattie slid it past Bonner. I mean, a first-class goal, and I think all the goals that we've seen have been fit to win any cup final.
Yeah, and credit, I think, to Beattie as well, Billy, for placing it rather than having a quick snap at it, which a lot of players might have been tempted to do.
To be fair, looking at it, I wondered at first whether he tried it or not. But to be fair to him, he looked as though he knew what he was doing, and he said that there's enough room there, and he put it past him. When I saw it live, to be honest with you, I wasn't awful sure what they had tried it, but looking at it a few times, I think he did try it, the lad.
Has to go down as a good goal, but 2 even better to come. And there's no doubt the Provan goal was a turning point, because as we said earlier, United at that stage were looking comfortable, and Celtic were struggling a bit to come into the match. But let's see the free kick, rather needlessly maybe given away for that foul on Murdo McLeod's. Archie, what do you think?
Well, it certainly was. I mean, outside the penalty area there, then when you've got people like McLeod and Provan who can bend balls into the net, then it maybe was a bit needlessly given, but all credit to Provan for a fantastic goal.
It was, yeah. I think if Michel Platini or Zico had done that, Dennis would have been saying it's only the foreigners that can bend a ball like that. That was a quality goal, wasn't it?
Well, of course, you know where I was sat? I was sat up there in the stand, and we couldn't really see what kind of... I thought it was a great goal at the time, you know, when he bent it around the wall. But now that's the first time I've seen it from behind the goal, and I don't know, I don't think the goalkeeper had any chance of getting that. And it was at a stage of the game where Celtic were really struggling, weren't they? I mean, Dundee United could have gone and got a second.
Yeah.
That brought Celtic into the side, and of course then the then they started playing a bit. And Dundee United, it's always sorry, isn't it, when they lose like Dundee United, because they played so well. Completely. But that was a great goal.
Let's see the winning goal then. The cross from Roy Aitken, who I thought had a marvellous match. He was superb in defence, came into midfield, and then laid on this wonderful winning goal for Frank McCarthy. Dennis, is a man who scored a few with headers.
Well, I think it was a bit far out for me, but that was the turning point, wasn't it? When Aitken then, you know, they brought the substitute on, pushed Aitken up, he got up, he got the ball across, and then that McGarvey header. I don't think you get many better connected headers than that. As we said before, you know, it was a goal fit to win the cup final. And yes, I would have been very proud of that.
Right. So overall then, we're happy with the final as a match, Archie?
Yes, I think obviously we're playing each other so often in the season, then it was going to take a bit of time to settle down, but we saw a good second half, and culminating with that winner for Frank McGarvey. An early ball played in from Roy Aitken, obviously caught the United defence out, but what a header.
There we are, yes, and the poor old United, still the Hampden jinx. They've still never won a final at Hampden, still haven't got their name in the Scottish
Well,
Cup.
they'll certainly be bitterly disappointed about that, because with 15 minutes to go, they looked as if they could maybe do it.
There we are. Gentlemen, we've run out of time. Thank you for being with us. Archie Knox, Billy McNeill, Dennis Law. Lovely to see you, Dennis. And we come to the end of our coverage of this 100th Scottish Cup final. And the previous 99 Scottish Cup finals, Celtic have had their name in the trophy more often than any other club. So perhaps it's appropriate that in this 100, that Celtic could go on to the trophy, excuse me, for the 27th time. It has been quite an afternoon. Thank you for being with us from all of us from Hampden. Goodbye.
Oh, could have done that better. David Dodds. There's a shot, he scored! And only twice in the history of the Scottish Cup have goals been scored direct from a free kick. Is this a bit of history? It is! Hegarty, here's Aitken. Good drifting ball.